This episode is brought to you by Dragon Snack Games, Buffalo's full-line hobby game store featuring one of Western New York's largest selection of board games, gaming miniatures, model paint, dice, role-playing games, collectible card games, and more. I have actually been to this place. It's massive, much bigger than you would think. Check it out. That's Dragon Snack Games.
Hello, Nomads, and welcome to our quick review of the Book of Boba Fett, Chapter 5, The Return of the Mandalorian. Who do I have with me? I have Brandon.
This baby's pre-Empire. She's off the grid.
Okay. And I have Dave with me as well.
Wizard.
Wizard.
That's it. Just
That's
wizard. It's what all the cool kids are saying these days.
Well, since I'm hosting this one, my quote was going to be smooth as a gong scomp jack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
of course.
There's a lot of slang in this episode.
There was. I was really liking it. Get to see a little bit of the slang in the Star Wars universe. I always like that. Adds some color.
The Book of Din Djarin, or however you pronounce his name.
Well, this episode title was
Return of the
Return
Mandalorian.
of the Mandalorian.
and it only had him in it in this episode. It was the Mandalorian.
So we haven't talked before this recording at all, and I just want to know straight off the bat. First impressions, Brandon.
It's good. It was a good episode. It was fine. Better than the last episode was really good, but it had some low points in it, and I thought it was weird. It was weird because it's just a Mandalorian. It was like, why is this in here? But I'm sure there's a master plan. I'm sure they have something figured out. So I enjoyed the ride. There was just a lot of more world building. So yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
I agree. I liked it. It was good. It got a little slow towards the middle. It was a little, it started off so high that, then he goes back and meets with his Mandalorians. That was kind of cool, but he had the montage and the cop chase and stuff like that. So, it was fun. It was a fun bite-sized episode. It's like a precursor to like fill in the gap before the next season of Mandalorian, kind of.
Well, it's filling in the gap before the events of the next couple episodes, like the season finale of Boba Fett. Dude, I'm surprised. I thought you guys would be coming in here jazzed, because I'm jazzed about this one. Like,
It's good.
Loved this episode. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I might come off like even keel about it, but it's there were some. It was a slow episode. Some of these episodes just have slow things in it.
There was
not slow at all.
They have a Halo in Star Wars.
I
now.
disagree. This was not slow.
Okay, well, let's get into it, because I don't want to come off like I didn't enjoy this episode. It was great. As a Star Wars fan, I got so much shown to me that I kind of wanted to see, and I got to see like a fucking Halo ring.
Dude, yeah.
Halo.
That's what I literally have that in my notes. Like, there's a Halo in fucking Star Wars.
It's pretty badass,
so
too.
cool.
Which, what I'm saying is weird. It's just weird. It's not like it's bad. It's just, Like,
Listen,
Star Wars influenced so many things, and now other things are influencing Star Wars, and it's just
cool.
I love that we're seeing shit that we've never seen in the Star Wars universe before.
Fuck yeah, that's the best part. I wrote down like small world Star Wars, because you're getting all the small ball stories, like meat packing plants and like nightclubs,
traveling because you don't have a ship.
Yeah,
right? He's taking a fucking airliner to Tatooine off this weird Halo industrial ring, whatever.
That was a little weird. He could have definitely hired somebody to jump on a transport somewhere, so he didn't have to. Like, he just almost died to keep the Darksaber, and that's like his most prized possession. And he just put it in this. I thought something was going to happen with it when he put it in the box.
Dude, the goddamn Darksaber. Right off the bat, we obviously knew that Mandalorian was coming in the season. We got a little bit of tease with the music the last time on the previous episode of the Book of Boba Fett. But like, right off the bat, it's one of the first things you see is the Mandalorian coming into this meat locker back room thing, trying to collect on a bounty, and he just fucks up all these dudes with his Darksaber. Like, I was nerding out for this so hard. Like, I
Yeah,
was
without
so
Grogu,
jazzed.
he's more violent.
I think he's
like
just
his
trying
own
to
way.
find his purpose. Yeah, he's still trying to find his purpose in the world after he completed his mission with Grogu.
Like he went back to what he knows, because that scene is basically like a refresh of the first scene of season 1. Basically, when he walks into the bar, basically to collect on the bounty from the blue guy, and ends up
That's exactly what I was
beating the
thinking.
shit
Yep.
and or murdering everybody else. So, but
Dude,
so it's a little more intense. He's a little more updated now, which is pretty sweet.
in this one scene, the Mandalorian like outdid anything that Boba Fett has done up to this point in this entire series, you know.
Yeah.
As far as like his amount of violence and like the amount of I don't know, just badassery overall.
So I watched this episode twice, and I missed this the first time I watched it, and it was when he was fighting with the Darksaber. I thought one of the guys in the meat locker, one of those thugs, hurt him, but on second viewing, I noticed it was
He hurt
him.
himself with it. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
I just didn't know that he would have a difficulty with this thing. So this is where I'm learning about the Darksaber.
Yeah, I thought he got shot. I didn't know why he was so
Yeah.
limpy. But usually, like they'd have like games and Star Wars. They have back to spray, which is just like a first aid spray, kind of like Resident Evil or something like that. Like, dude, you're just limping around everywhere you go. Just get a little spray and spray yourself up. And then after they got that, he was fine. So it was a little weird, but
dude, yeah, the training sequence where he's trying to learn how to use the Darksaber and everything.
Yeah, who doesn't like that stuff? It's so
Because
cool.
he meets
It's
up
just-
with the other Mandalorians, the armor and the what's his name, Paz Vizsla from season
the big one.
the big guy, yeah.
big guy, yeah. And dude, when they had to duel for the Darksaber, I was all about that. That was like straight up like Western style. Like, listen, I have the right to the Darksaber. This belongs to my family, and whoever you have to defeat has to be one in combat for you to wield the Darksaber, or else it's a curse.
Mando's not going to lose though.
There's only so many like Mandalorians, and you know that Bo-Katan's out there, and yet the 3 that are right there, and in some weird way you have Boba Fett if he decides to, because he's kind of doing his own thing. Like everybody could claim right to that thing or whatever, and the problem is they all have different rules for it, right?
Well,
Is that
technically,
the problem?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we see it in this episode. Like the armor.
So he would make a
straight
move
up
for
asks him. Yeah.
He would
Well,
want to fight for it.
Yeah.
He thinks his clan deserves
Well,
it.
the Mandalorian, I mean, he won the Darksaber fair and square, but he was disbanded from this group of Mandalorians because he took his helmet off. Like, she straight up asked him.
Yo, chill
you
out.
didn't even-
There are only a couple of us left.
You didn't even ask him. Like,
one time.
It was, yeah, right, exactly.
I'm assuming it's in when they're getting the bar and they're getting blown up and they have to take off the helmet so the droid can spray them. I'm assuming that's what we're talking
No,
about.
he actually was at that.
He took his helmet off in the
season 2 when they
in
were
front of a lot of people.
the Imperial
Yeah.
thing.
That's right. When he had to dress up as the Imperial. Yep. So yeah, I think that scene was important as a way. I don't know. It felt a little quick, like as a way to kind of close the chapter on his relationship with the other Mandalorians. Like he's basically cast out and he's not, allowed
I see
to
it more
roll
as a
with them
quest.
anymore.
She's
So,
like, the only way to
yeah.
get it back is to like walk in the waters of our
Right.
home planet or something like that.
So
Like, all right.
that's kind of an excuse to get him on his own, and then after that we see him travel back to Tatooine, and that's where he's going to meet up with Boba Fett and everything. So
'Cause
it's
isn't
kind
that
of
the-
a means to an end there?
Isn't it the prophecy with the Darksaber though? Is that he's supposed to be the one to retake Mandalore, and she says, "Well, the
Right.
fucking thing you're looking for is on Mandalore, so fucking
Yep.
put your street to feet and get out there and get it."
Yep.
So
Before we leave this crew, I want to say one thing. I saw that there's like a theory that the Forge Master, she has those horns on her helmet.
Mm-hmm.
She might be the same race that Darth Maul is. It's not a human,
it's from Danthamir. I forget what that race is called.
but
Yeah.
she's pretty strong. I mean, she's stronger probably than the Mandalorian, or as
Well,
strong. I don't know. I mean, she's
I assume they're all Mandalore. They're from Mandalore, right?
does that
Like,
mean they're all human?
I think that's whatever that specific race. I don't know if they're. I guess they're humans, just from the planet Mandalore. That's what
Danthamorian.
defines them.
Zabrak is the.
So I don't know
race,
if you
believe.
can be a Mandalore, but also a different race. I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's
all right, no, maybe.
it's
I
like
don't
the
know.
way of life, though. I think it's not where you're from. It's how you live. It's
So it is
it's the
possible.
creed.
Okay.
I just thought the other people, and I like the other guy, he's like much bigger too, and he has a very deep voice. I'm like, that can't be human under there.
One thing I
So
thought
I
was
don't know why
it was
I
a big
think
boy.
That way, but
they explained
maybe
like
he's
the
human.
how the Empire took down Mandalore, though, which was kind of intense. Like that was just a cutscene thrown in there of all the TIE bombers going over the
Just
planet.
the-
and
yeah.
just
Yeah,
the Night of a Thousand
yeah,
Tears.
Yeah,
I thought that was
those things were
pretty intense. To
The Great
with those
Purge.
K2 units or whatever.
yeah, it was kind of like Terminator basically because you got those
Yeah,
like those
I
sentry
thought
droids.
the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
but it's got
Which I'm saying is like Star Wars is now being influenced by other things, and it's nice to see.
Mhm.
You know, it might not feel like Star Wars all the time, but we've seen Star Wars. It's let people branch out and play around with it, as long as the lore doesn't really break and it's fun in the end. You know.
Well, I kind of look at it like the way that Disney's doing a lot of the Marvel stuff, where like some Marvel movies are heist movies, but some are like comedy movies, and some are this kind of movies, and like you can have
Yeah.
other different things in your universe other than just like giant space battles and lightsabers and stuff. So it's fleshing
I have a
out,
question.
fleshing it out. Yeah.
What do you think they forged little Grogu there from the Beskar
Oh,
spear?
I know what it is.
I also know what it is.
Do you?
What do you think
Is it
it
Baby
is?
Yoda chainmail?
No,
Yeah, it's gonna be some kind of armor, no?
I'm thinking they forged him a little silver ball made out of Beskar. Remember how he was always playing with that ball?
I was thinking
was
about
the
that
control?
too.
Eric, that's good.
They poured the
Yeah.
the little chain links out though, so that's why I thought
That's true.
you're gonna
too.
get him like a little Frodo mithril.
It was too
thing.
small to be that though. I was like, it's
Yeah.
got to be something really tiny.
If you look at it close, it looks like the way that they wrapped it. It looks like a little.
I saw
Grogu
that. I
head.
noticed that,
was
too.
weird.
Yeah, I like that
Every little detail in this one was cool.
because he was looking at it longingly. He's like, "Oh, I miss Grogu."
God damn, Eric, that's so obvious to me now that I think about it. That's probably what it is, dude. Oh man, see, that's the thing. It's like,
Could be.
Grogu character is so goddamn genius when they paired him up with the Mandalorian. So now we're seeing a whole episode with him alone. You know, it's just weird. It's like the first episode all over again from his show where he was alone for that whole episode. He didn't have Grogu. Oh, he's
Mhm.
weird when he's like the Mandalorian is the two characters, I think.
He's so
You know?
business like though. Like he's not
just
bullshitting
the
around.
way.
He's not staying around for
No.
dinner. Like he doesn't want to
Take-
stay at your bar and get drunk. No,
No.
fuck
I know, I
off.
love
Give
it.
me my
He's
money
on a
and tell me
mission,
where it
yeah.
is.
In real life, I wouldn't want him to be my friend. I know that, but watching him as a character in a show, I think he's like the coolest guy.
So what if Grogu gets that little ball and he starts using it like Magneto and he starts like whipping it around and
Ooh.
using it as like a projectile? Like and
That'd
it's
be
made of Beskar. We already know that can
Yeah, just going
punch
through
through
people's
people's
foreheads. Just
Baby Yoda, yeah, Grogu's gonna go dark side and just start murdering people with a little ball. But
Another thing. Well, jumping ahead after Mandalorian gets to Tatooine, I nerded out a little bit when we saw a fucking BD droid
yes, from Fallen Order. That was awesome.
Yeah,
and it worked. It worked
man.
so good.
finally
in the
get to see
universe.
something from a video game in, like the big screen stuff. So it's like, this is great.
and it works well. Like it's not like
Mhm.
it's probably like the most helpful of the droid. Like R2 units are great at flying shit, but like Gonk droid is basically a battery with legs. We find
I
out.
know
Just
it
a
was a
garbage
droid
can.
episode. If you like droids, then you probably like Eric.
Dude,
you
they
are
threw all the
of
different
them-
kinds of droids.
You're younger than us, so your Star Wars trilogy was like the prequels. So you
Dude,
probably
yeah,
like loved seeing just like
They got the pit droids. They got the fucking R5 units. They got BD.
that's
I love
the
BD
R5
unit.
unit from A New Hope. I saw.
Really?
So yeah, so somebody
must have
on the
fixed them
internet
up.
pointed this out. I saw where
Well, oh yeah, because
There's
she
a-
has a relationship with the Jawas, so they
It's-
still
there's a-
had that R5 unit, right?
exactly. So yeah, and there's like a part of him that's still it's cleaned up now. It's not all scratched from the explosion, but yeah, he has like a little.
Oh, is it the
opening
one that
somewhere.
explodes when?
When the originally
when
was
they're trying
picked
to-
before R2, yeah, and then they said this one's got a busted converter or something.
That's a good. That's a nice touch. That's pretty sweet.
So
And the
that's
lady
the
is,
exact same one.
Lady loves the furry Jawas. She's got a thing for.
Apparently,
just
Jawas
little
are furry.
They're furry. Yeah.
Well, then like you get to
That
hear
was weird.
I
hear
always
her
thought they were
speak
bug-like.
speak Jawa. Like
Yeah,
we've
that
never
was weird.
seen anybody other than Jawas
give her
speak Jawa, which
credit,
Well, on
man.
the-
That's gonna be hard to do as a human being to be like, you want me to do what?
On the subtitles, I was watching it with subtitles, and when she was speaking, it was like speaking in Jawaese. I'm like, okay.
sure.
That's what it's called.
It's like, I call her Star Wars Sigourney Weaver because she looks like that hair that she has looks like
Oh, yeah, I can
like
see that.
alien Sigourney Weaver with that like giant cookie bush haircut she's got.
Okay, did you guys think that they were gonna pull out a fucking pod racer when she had the ship?
Yeah,
under
I
the-
did.
I thought it was
I
going to
thought
be
it
an
was
under the
A-wing
sheet. Oh, okay. I
because it
thought
was
for
small.
sure
it was
there was-
tiny.
Yeah, it was
I
really
thought she was
small.
gonna.
That's why I
take
thought
a
it was a pod racer.
and then convert it into like a new ship or something like that. But
Like I don't get it. I don't think does that ship. Well, first it's very convenient that she got Queen Amidala's ship on Tatooine. I don't know.
Well,
how
it's just
an-
an
it's
it's
not
just a Naboo
specific.
starfighter. It's just a
Said it
Naboo
was
starfighter. It's just a
for the
generic
Queen,
one.
I believe.
Well, it was yeah. I don't.
But I
I
don't.
don't really remember.
But I don't. How is he supposed to like get bounties into that thing? And like,
Hmm.
it seems like the Razor Crest was so perfect because he could have like 10 dudes frozen in carbonite hanging from his walls, and then like racks of guns and stuff.
you know
I
that little
know.
astromech droid port is going to be where Grogu goes.
of course,
You know
yeah,
that, right?
fuck yeah.
of course.
That's going to be his little car seat.
I was just
Yeah.
gonna say need a
He
booster
doesn't
for
really
him.
like droids. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. So Dave, right? Where is he going to keep his bounties? Is he giving up that life? I mean, like, why is he willing to accept this
Ow.
ship? It's not.
Well, I mean, all his bounties are, I
The
feel like, are
utility of
means
it
to an
is-
end. Like, he's doing these bounties to basically get what he wants and get the information that he's looking for to, seems like he wants to get back to Grogu. That's kind of his main mission right now, to give him.
It's like Boba
this
Fett
little
and Mandalorian both have like they're where are they going? Where are these guys going? Like, kind of like drifters, but like hello,
They
they're
are, yeah.
fucking
Boba's-
Western
well,
space
thing. They
westerns.
are drifters.
Starting a space, a space crime family.
Posse.
Yeah.
Space gang.
I mean, he's doing well already, but like the one part that was kind of weird was like you never know like the mechanics of spaceships, and like as they're putting together, there's like this whole mechanic montage of like we're putting
I thought that was
together
cool.
our first car.
That was
But
cool.
like
I like
it is,
that.
it's cool like to see him do it, but they're like we're gonna take this piece off of this random ship and it just fits perfectly in here, and he's like,
Dude, they were modding shit. And,
I mean,
yeah,
if you're
where's
mass
the-
producing ships, though, I mean, you probably have a modular like that. Like that makes sense to me. What I
Sure.
like is that Han Solo has the Millennium Falcon, and that like meant so much to him, right? Like we're used to that. Like we've seen it in other like movies, I think, where they get attached to a ship.
Oh, yeah.
Jango Fett does, like even like when the Crest was destroyed.
Dude, Boba Fett
Yeah,
does.
So
You-
so
he-
it was him falling in love with a new one in front of him. We've never seen one created for somebody.
Right.
And she's
right.
like, and I pimped this thing out, and there's like that 1950s muscle car again.
it's
Dude,
got
yeah,
an
it has the
engine coming
exposed
out of the
engine
hood.
block and everything. Oh my
Like
God.
that is
Yeah.
just weird. Space things don't run on engines. Like, does it?
Sure, of course it does.
What
It's
it-
just a different type of engine.
But it's like
it's not
like-
it's not a combustion engine.
Like he started it and he's going revving it like he's a goddamn like I don't
Didn't
know.
they
Well,
do
they-
that
He's
in
got
pod
like
races?
a classic car.
Or no?
Yeah, the
I
pod-
guess yeah they did too. But
It's
those
the same type of twin engine setup there.
And the land speeder bikes, like they're pretty. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
I know they kind of have like high electric, but maybe
I thought
the
space would just be
Empire just had very slick technology, and maybe everyone else is kind of like stuck on a desert planet, and like we just know how to convert, this resource into that, and
Yeah.
make the engine. Who knows? I mean,
I don't
do we want to know how that stuff works, or we
know.
just
Probably not. No.
Well, they're just
I don't
throwing
know.
out so many
I don't
different
know.
terms. They're throwing out so many different terms while they're building it. Like, this is a converter,
Mhm.
flux capacitor, whatever the fuck they're talking about. And I'm like, okay, I'm just whatever. I'll accept it all as just Star Wars lore.
Yeah, I mean, we saw a meat locker with like those plastic thin like things like you would in real life. It's like, it's interesting. Sometimes it feels like it's on Earth, and sometimes it doesn't.
Mhm.
It's like sometimes it feels like it's in Tatooine. Sometimes it feels like it's like a new version of Tatooine. But overall, I feel like I am watching Star Wars. I don't forget that I'm watching Star Wars.
Oh, yeah. So, are we going to... Okay, what's your prediction for when we see the Mandalorian again? Are we going to see him again in this season? Because he said first because at the end of this episode, Fennec shows up and is asking the Mandalorian to help him out, help Boba Fett out, and join him, his gang or whatever. But the Mandalorian says, yes, he'll do it, but he has to go visit a little friend first, which we assume
Be
is
back.
Grogu.
How many are left? 2? 3?
Two left. Yeah.
So next one there will be no Mandalorian. There'll be like the setup of the big battle with the Pikes, and then the last one, they'll be just about to die, and then Mandalorian will come swooping in, and he's gonna have Grogu in a little pod, and
they're not gonna show that. They're not gonna show that in Book of Boba Fett. They're gonna show that in Mandalorian season 3, and then they're gonna connect them back.
You can't end the season without
Mandalorian's gonna leave, and then he's gonna come back probably in the season finale of Book of Boba Fett, and then in Mandalorian season 3, we'll get that little segment where he leaves Tatooine and comes back.
It's weird. Like you said, yeah, it is weird because it's like it's hard to give this like a number grade because I don't feel like it's like a Book of Boba Fett episode. It's like I watched an episode of Mandalorian, which it was a solid one because it was a lot of world, like we said, small world small world Star Wars, small ball.
Well, they're trying to start I feel like we've said this before, but they're trying to start their own like Star Wars cinematic universe. Each season is of the Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett, or I don't know, even Kenobi maybe will connect back to, because they're all taking place in the same area of the Star Wars universe. They're all going to connect back to each other in some way or another. So they're trying to build out this universe.
Here's a question. Do you guys think we'll see Watto from episode 1?
Oh,
I wouldn't be surprised if
we haven't seen Watto yet.
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Watto yet. He's got to be hanging around.
They should have gone to him for the parts instead of the Jawas. You never, like they could
Right.
They could have even easily stuck him in there too. I don't know. I've seen some rumors out there, and I'm hoping some of them aren't true. Like you said, like they know what they're doing with all the Marvel stuff, tying everything together and do like a phase, or where everything comes together nicely for a capper. Like I'm assuming that stuff from Kenobi will be tied in here, and obviously Mandalorian will pick up right where this leaves off.
Everything's taking place on Tatooine, and it's all in the same like time period. So, although with Kenobi by this point,
yeah, Kenobi will be
dead.
Yeah,
so
long gone.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he could always come back as
a
a Force ghost or something.
Yeah, what are we saying? There's no tie in here.
So, Eric, is there a favorite part of this episode that you had?
I think right off the bat, they started off right with the Mandalorian coming in like a badass and fucking everybody up with the Darksaber. But I also really like the ending where he's taking his ship out for his test run and he's just fucking speeding around. They mentioned Beggar's Canyon, which is I think that's the pod racing track. So he's kind of whipping through that. So that was a nice little callback too. And then he takes it out into space. He's just whipping around, and he gets pulled over by the X-Wing cops, which was pretty funny.
Yeah, and it ties back into, I believe it was when
those are the same guys.
When he double-crossed in season 1 of Mando, when he was blowing up that... Or no, he actually didn't blow it up. When he broke the Bill Burr out of prison or whatever. He broke the Twi'lek out of prison with Bill Burr, I should say. And then locked them all in prison, dropped off the Twi'lek, left the encoder there, and as he was leaving, those two guys were coming in.
Yep. Yeah, because they mentioned like, did you used to pilot a Razor Crest? Your voice sounds familiar.
I don't know if they saw his voice, but yeah. But you got to show off his fancy new sub-light speed engine, which...
Dude, yeah, that was sick.
Which is kind of ridiculous. I don't know where you go from there. You just zip off into space that fast.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're just like, oh, let me see your registration, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, nope, see ya. That was good.
Surprised I didn't notice like it's an old Naboo fighter too. I don't know. That guy seems like he's old enough to remember that stuff.
What about you, Dave? Do you have a favorite part?
Oh, favorite part? I don't know. I like the beginning. The meat locker sequence was cool because it was kind of like the refresh of that one. I don't know. It was just kind of like a steady stream of like cool Star Wars world stuff, which. You get some Darksaber stuff, you get some Mandalorian stuff, you get a little bit of Tatooine, and they get because he can't show up at the end of the season and save the day in a new ship unless you explain how he has this new ship and stuff like that. So it's like a builder episode. I mean, it's cool because it fleshes out the universe, but it just fills in some plot holes and kind of just continues to set up. What was the last one was the Gathering Storm or something like that.
Yep.
And then this one's kind of still gathering the storm. So
It definitely was like a filler episode, but like in all the right ways for me. And like they had like fan service up the wazoo as far as like Mandalorian stuff goes, but like they did it in a really smart way, I thought. And I love this episode. I thought it was great.
And we got a new catchphrase. Wizard.
Wizard.
How'd you like the ride? How was it? Wizard.
So in episode
Like,
1,
whoa.
just before the pod race, one of Anakin's buddies says, "Annie did is
I didn't
so
know that
wizard."
I didn't know that was even a thing, but all the kids are saying it on
something that they
Star Wars
say.
TikTok.
Star Wars TikTok. So if you guys had to give this a number rating, what would you give it, Brandon?
I would give it, and I wanted to give it an 8. That was my, that's where I was. But I like I said in the beginning of this episode, that I thought this episode was a little weird. It's a little different. Just no Boba, and like I said, there's like 2 parts of this episode. There's the whole Mandalorian way and lore and all that stuff going on. It's very dark, and then it goes bright and sunny, and here we are hanging out. In a garage basically on Tatooine. So it's just 2 different things happening in one episode. It's just different. Where are we going with this? This whole episode, this whole season, where are we going with it? So I would say I'd give it an 8.5. Yeah, 8.5.
Okay.
Do you only get 0.5s? Like we don't give like 0.3s?
No.
No, 0.5 scale.
I know, I'm kidding.
What about you, Dave?
I guess you could.
This
What
one-
is stopping you from doing that?
I know. We don't really have rules on it. We don't
It's
even
our
know
own
if it's out of 10. actually.
8.375.
It's our own scale.
I think I give it like a 2.
Fucking 2.
There was no Boba Fett. Nah, I'm fucking proud. I give it an 8. It's good. There's nothing too crazy going on. Like Brandon said, there's no Boba, so it was like a weird thing to watch. But there's a ton of little stuff just kind of sprinkled throughout the whole thing. It's just like a nice little frosting glaze of world building on top of everything.
Yeah.
'Cause you got like the destruction of Mandalore thrown in there, like the bars. You got a fucking Star Wars Halo, dirty underbellies, meatpacking plants, like all sorts of just one thing after another. Nothing really like blows your mind, but Mando got a new ship. I'm sure he'll be back in it to go pan 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 and blast everybody.
It's good.
Although
sound
no,
effects.
Naboo ships don't sound like the fire spray. This fire spray does have the best sounding guns in Star Wars, I think. But
I agree.
that's a whole nother conversation.
All right.
But I give it an 8.
Well,
Eric?
I'm going high. I'm going high on this one. I'm going a 9. I think this was I think my favorite episode so far, and it's funny because it didn't have Boba Fett in it at all. Like, I don't know, I was just so jazzed to see the Mandalorian in that first shot, and like I think it's just telling like I want Mandalorian season 3. And I don't know. I just think Mandalorian's a better character than Boba Fett.
He's kind of a blockhead though, isn't he? He's not the brightest bulb in the box.
He's just very stoic, I think. I think that makes him come off as maybe, a little dull.
He got burned on another planet with the meat packing or maybe that was on the same planet. I don't know. He went a long time with that burned leg. Like, dude, get some space neosporin for that. I don't know. That would be, I guess that's back to spray, but whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, I thought this episode was awesome. Just all the things that we got to see. We got to catch up with the Mandalorian and kind of what he's doing after he left Grogu there. And we get to see what he's going to do next along with Boba Fett. And he's clearly got his own mission that he's going to do as well. So, yeah. So with that, I guess we will sign off for this week and looking forward to next week. Other than that, may the Force be with you.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Wizard, bro. Wizard.
Say wizard. This episode is brought to you by Dragon Snack Games, Buffalo's full-line hobby game store featuring one of Western New York's largest selection of board games, gaming miniatures, model paint, dice, role-playing games, collectible card games, and more. I have actually been to this place. It's massive, much bigger than you would think. Check it out. That's Dragon Snack Games.